Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Hasbro and Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about what hypocrites Hasbro are. Because remember last year there were multiple debacles around everything D&D these days, but there were multiple debacles around the use of AI in Magic the Gathering cards and marketing materials for it in the actual source books for Dungeons and Dragons. And they would always say, oh, no, guys, we didn't use any AI art. No, we believe in the power of art and the power of feelings and magic and friendship, everybody, honest. And then they get busted. Be like, oh, I'm sorry, we won't do it again. Then they get busted again. Oh, no, that was a mistake. We didn't mean to do that. Well, now
won't happen again.
Won't happen again. Now the CEO of Hasbro, Mr. Cocks, says that, no, we're just, you know what? I'm tired.
Call him Dick.
What's that?
I just call him Dick. Anyway, go ahead.
That would be the most awesome name ever. I'm Dick Cocks.
No, I'm just going to call him Dick instead of Cox. Go ahead, continue.
Balls is my middle name. So anyway, yeah, he's flat out saying, yeah, we're just going to use a bunch of AI and there's not a damn thing anybody can do about it, except not buy their books. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think they're going to be selling books for much longer. I think this is end stage Dungeons and Dragons. I think this is the end of it as a tabletop game and the beginning of it as an AI mobile app for normies. And it's going to be a thing. So let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo. I
have to give a hat tip to Graph Paper Architect who sent this over. I missed it. We've been kind of busy this week, but thank you very much. Check out his YouTube channel, by the way. Yeah, so this I found it posted actually on Reddit, and do not go out to this subreddit. Do not harass these people, but it's exactly what you would expect.
I mean, I'm looking
socialist gamers.
I'm looking at this piece of art, and I'm like, yeah.
I mean, this is the most. This whole juxtaposition is the most current year modern audience thing ever. Subreddit socialist gaming, a place for socialist gamers, a safe space for any and all anti-capitalists who want to discuss games in an environment free of toxic right-wing attitudes.
Right, because only people on the right believe in capitalism that they all use. Here's the thing too, that wait a second. So you're not allowed to be on there. Even if you don't identify those ways, they will self-identify. They'll identify you for you and then kick you out.
Well, there are an awful lot of anti-capitalist gamers here. There are 30,000 members.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing: if that would imply that they're pro art. So is it like that button meme? Like, which one do you push? You push the button where you nuke all your socialist gamers with all because they don't want the AI art. But then you're making all your books written and the art directed towards them. That's the audience you claim you want, but the audience you claim you want doesn't want your shit.
They don't buy stuff, right? These are anti-capitalists.
They don't want the AI stuff.
They don't want the AI stuff, but they're also anti-capitalist. A lot of them don't have money, right? They're gonna steal shit. They're gonna torrent shit, right? So like this is the modern audience that all these corporations, these for-profit corporations have been chasing, are broke. They're not going to, and D&D is a very expensive hobby. Just, one source book's like 40, 50, 60 bucks. It's not cheap, but whatever. Just keep chasing that audience. This is coming from PC Gamer. Hasbro CEO says all his mates are using AI for their D&D games, which is apparently a clear signal that we need to be embracing it.
They've tried, and then people call them out. Oh, we're not going to do it, I swear. Do it again. Get called out. We're not going to do it again, I swear. Now they're just like, fuck you, we're going to embrace it because it's cheaper.
Yep. They said that
capitalism. That Reddit subreddit's going to lose their shit.
What happens? Well, this is why most of Reddit lost their shit, because the people behind Reddit are like, hey, yeah, we can't pay our bills. We can't just give away the API anymore. So we're going to have to start charging for that. It's like, how dare you, capitalist pigs? It's like, what the servers cost? What the bandwidth on this place costs? Jeez. Anyway, Wizards of the Coast. The folks who make Dungeons and Dragons and Magic have had a very public, very bumpy relationship with the use of AI and marketing materials and source books lately. We just went over that. They got busted like 3 or 4 different times in the span of like 6 months, and then they kept apologizing for it. And this is after they sent the Pinkertons to a guy's house, by the way. That hasn't stopped Hasbro CEO Chris Cocks from getting very excited using AI in D&D. You can say that Chris Cocks is standing at full attention when it comes to AI. Cox casually mentioned at a Goldman Sachs conference that inside of development, we've already been using AI. What? What? Before clarifying, it's mostly machine learning or proprietary stuff. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. We will deploy it significantly and liberally internally as both a knowledge worker aid and as a development aid. Now, is there a place for this? Yes. But when you make such a big deal, and your audience makes such a big deal about how they don't want AI in their stuff, and you're going to go ahead and do it anyway, and they're basically just saying, hey, yeah, fuck you, we don't care. We don't care, we're going to use it. Now, everybody's going to be using it to some degree in business and in creative because it's embedded in everything, and it happened within like a year. Like every damn app that you use, every website that you use, it's got some form of AI, and sometimes it makes it better and sometimes it makes it significantly worse. Facebook Messenger. Oh my God, I hate the AI in Facebook Messenger. I'm actually thinking like we need to switch to something else because you look for something. It doesn't just bring you the results. It's like, here's what we think you would like from the web and also shopping links. I'm like,
pretty much.
The bizarre line of thought, Cox, who apparently plays D&D with 30 or 40 people regularly, that is one hell of a group. People are always looking for group, and he's got 30 or 40 people.
Well, that's because he's the head dick.
Yeah, he's Big Dick. That's what they should call him, Big Dick.
Yeah.
If my last name were Cox, I would have a little name tag that would say Big Dick. That's Mr. Cock to you. Notes that there's not a single person who doesn't use AI somehow for either campaign development or character development or story ideas. That's a clear signal that we need to be embracing it because my friends are using it.
You've been. You're just trying to be like, oh, look, now we have a reason. You're looking for a reason to clip onto or grab onto.
I guarantee you that the books that are coming out next year were probably generated in part by AI. I mean, it's so bad now that like in crowdfunding campaigns, I know Kickstarter, I think it's Kickstarter and BackerKit, you actually have to have an AI disclaimer. You have to specify whether or not you've used AI, generative AI. Now, if you're just using it to like, hey, ChatGPT, could you crunch some numbers for me? I think that's an acceptable use, because you're just crunching numbers like a calculator. But like trying to pass off the cover art for a source book as being hand painted art, and it's clearly not, you need to disclaim that shit. So, this person, the writer, said, I'm not going to sit here on a throne of ethical superiority. I've never purposefully touched generative AI to run any of my groups. I've taken to Pinterest to grab 1 or 2 reference images for my games. It's the same thing. But they said the enthusiasm for AI runs counterman to the spirit of Wizards AI art FAQ, released not too long after the above controversies, which reads, Magic and D&D have been built on the innovation, ingenuity, and hard work of talented people, middle-aged white men from the flyover states that you denigrated for the 50th anniversary of the game, who sculpt these beautiful creative games. As such, we require artists, writers, and creatives contributing to Magic and D&D to refrain from using AI generative tools to create final Magic or D&D.
We talked about before, yeah.
Yes. In fairness, this is specifically referring to AI art, but it's a far cry from Cox's seeming hunger for the stuff.
He's been trying. He's been trying to sneak it by. He just looked for a justification that he could use. So he found a really loose, stupid one. He's trying to clasp onto that.
So here is what's interesting about this, though, because you start going down this rabbit hole, and as far as the copyright with AI and all that, if anybody can generate their own game assets with AI, why do they have to buy any Hasbro products at all? Why can't they just use ChatGPT to just generate modules for them for free?
That's a good point.
They can generate stats for monsters for free. Why do they need Hasbro?
Yeah, if you're going to do it, then why you can't tell anybody else they can't?
Right. And at that point, you basically put yourself out of business because you're like, here's the secret recipe to KFC. You can make it at home. And that was kind of the undoing, I think, of a lot of like restaurant chains. You could tell like a restaurant chain was hurting as soon as they started offering their stuff in the freezer at Walmart. Like, oh, look, TGI Fridays and Chi-Chi's and they're selling all this stuff on the shelf, because if you can get it at home, why are you going to go to their restaurant and pay so much more for it? Why are you going to buy a $60 source book when you can just use the stuff that's out there and just add to it with ChatGPT, right?
Right. That's what they're going to do. So how can they tell you can't do that when they're doing the same thing?
Yeah. But yeah, they're talking about how this is Harvey Randall here. I'll give him credit. But yeah, they said secondary tools like character creation or rules questions, that's fine, but it's unreliable. It hallucinates information. The thing is, it's moving at such a pace that it's going to be able to generate modules whole cloth. And he's actually said before, he said in other interviews that they have 50 years worth of D&D stuff that they can strip mine and use to feed the AI beast. And then they can just create stuff forever. Like, they don't need to hire anybody to create adventures anymore.
Well, technically, somebody else, if they have access to the 50 years of data, could also feed it to an AI machine and generate their own.
Yes, that, you know what I'm saying? And then you can't prove it, because even like, the reason you can't copyright the D20 system is you can't copyright game rules, game mechanics, but you can copyright like certain things. So with Dungeons and Dragons, they copyright the brand, they copyright certain worlds and monsters and stuff like that like displacers and beholders, things that are unique to D&D, and they're not in like Lord of the Rings or whatever. But yeah, you could basically just take the framework of the D&D system and use ChatGPT to generate stuff from now until the end of time. If that's all they're doing, why are you paying them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to be paying them because they're supposed to be better than AI. They're supposed to have the best of the best working for them, but they fired a whole bunch of them. This is why they fired a whole bunch of people, by the way, which we told you. That's why they fired a whole bunch of people last year, because this is always what they're going to do. And then they hired some new creative director that's basically a bot farmer, and that's what they're going to do. Because to him, this is the greatest thing ever. We're just going to generate shit for free with no overhead. We don't have to deal with activist employees and shit. We just have to deal with this subreddit complaining about it. But we don't care. They don't buy our games anyway. And you know what? The general public, they're not going to know the difference. They're probably not. Like, if normies are going to buy or download the D&D app because he wants to turn D&D into an app like Monopoly, they're not going to know the difference. And they're just going to be like, oh, this is cool. It's Dungeons & Dragons. I play it, and I got my whatever coins, and I pay monthly to play. And that's the truth, and that sucks. But again, if they can do it, so can you, and you don't have to pay for it, right? Mm-hmm. So are we going to wrap this up?
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Join the reef. Go to clownfishminus.com. That's clownfishminus.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt, on our website. You'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfishminus.com. Thank you so much for the support.